If you're still using 2018 funnel strategies in 2026, you're probably working harder and converting less. Here's what's replacing funnels and how to build a system that actually works today. Funnels were built for a different internet. Today, attention is scattered, ad costs are rising, and most people who enter your funnel disappear. So now there are two paths: keep chasing traffic and patching tools together, or build an owned digital hub that compounds over time and actually converts. In this video, I'll show you exactly how it works. Let's break it down. In the early days of digital marketing, things were honestly pretty simple. You had a website, maybe a blog, you collected emails, and you sent people offers. That was pretty much the whole system. Then social media exploded, online competition increased, and funnels became the gold standard. If you're new, a funnel is basically a linear sales path. Someone grabs a freebie, then maybe buys a small product, then a bigger course, and eventually maybe coaching. Lots of people enter at the top, and a small percentage buy at the bottom. And to be fair, for a while, that worked really well. Traffic was cheaper, attention wasn't so fragmented, there were fewer creators competing for the same eyeballs, but the internet changed. Today, people don't move in a straight line anymore. They might watch one of your YouTube videos, then check your Instagram, then Google your name, read some reviews, lurk in a community, watch 3 more videos, and only then start thinking about buying. The funnel was designed for a linear buyer. Today's buyer is anything but linear. Now let's talk numbers for a minute. On average, only about 2 to 3% of funnel leads actually convert. That means if you bring in 100 people, roughly 97 of them leave without buying. And when you combine that with rising ad costs, it gets even tougher. Meta ad prices went up again in 2024 and then again in 2025. So now you're paying more just to get attention. While conversion rates are staying low, you're spending more to convert less. That math is brutal, especially if you're a beginner without a massive budget. In a minute, I'll show you the simple hub layout I recommend for beginners. Then there's the tool chaos. A typical funnel setup usually includes a landing page builder, an email platform, a checkout tool, a course host, maybe webinar software, a payment processor, and often a Facebook group or some other external community platform. That's easily 8 to 12 tools stitched together. Multiple logins, integrations that break, data scattered everywhere. Big headache. It's not unusual for small creators to spend thousands of dollars a year just keeping that stack running. In some cases, over $10,000 annually before they even see consistent profit. And that doesn't include the time spent troubleshooting when something inevitably breaks. But honestly, the biggest cost isn't even the money, it's the pressure. Funnels are built around one-off conversions, which means you're constantly hunting new leads, new launches, new traffic spikes, new promos. And the moment traffic slows down, revenue slows down. That creates a cycle where you're always chasing the next boost just to stay afloat. If you felt exhausted trying to keep that machine running, it's not because you're bad at business. It's because the model itself requires constant chasing. Here's the deeper issue. Funnels are designed to push for a sale, not to build a long-term relationship. So, what happens to the 97% who don't buy? In most cases, nothing. They fall out of the funnel and disappear. There's no ecosystem keeping them engaged, no central community, no ongoing connection, just leakage. So, if traffic is getting more expensive, buyers are behaving differently, and most of your audience disappears after one interaction. The real question isn't how do I optimize my funnel? The real question is, what kind of system keeps people inside your world instead of pushing them out? And that's where the hub model comes in. So what's this hub-centric model? It's not a buzzword, it's actually very simple. Think of a hub as the digital headquarters of your business. Instead of pushing people through a narrow funnel and hoping they buy before they disappear, you bring them into one central place that you own and control, and you keep them there. In practical terms, a hub is one integrated platform where everything lives under the same roof. Your content, your courses, your products, your email list, your community, your checkout, your analytics, all in one system. If a funnel is like a highway that leads to a single exit, a hub is like a city. People can explore different areas like your blog, your community, and your offers, but they stay inside your world. That's the difference. You're not juggling 10 different tools anymore. You're not duct taping software together at 2 in the morning because an integration broke. Everything works together by design. And when people switch to setups like this, they often cancel a bunch of extra subscriptions and simplify their entire tech stack. But the real benefit isn't just cost savings, it's ownership. With a hub, you're building on your own domain, your own platform, your own system. You're not building your entire business on rented land. And if you're curious about the broader ecosystem built around this philosophy, there's actually a movement called Mission 1000, focused entirely on helping entrepreneurs own their digital businesses from the ground up. It's built around the hub model, runs on solid infrastructure, and connects builders who are moving away from the old funnel-first approach. If you want to explore that ecosystem and the infrastructure behind it, I'll leave that linked below as well. Now, you might be thinking, okay, this sounds great in theory, but is anyone actually making this work? Yes, and the results are interesting. Let's talk about that next. There's a quote I love: "Community, not just product or price, is what builds enduring brands." That's from Damon John, and he's absolutely right. In a hub-based business, your community becomes your biggest asset, almost like a new kind of currency. Because when people feel like they belong somewhere, everything changes. They don't just buy once and disappear. They stick around. They buy again. They tell their friends. They defend your brand. They grow with you. Think about creators or brands you personally follow, the ones you trust, the ones you root for. Chances are, you don't just consume their content. You feel connected to what they're building. That connection is what funnels can't replicate. When your hub includes a real community space, whether that's a built-in forum, private member feed, or structured discussion area, you're creating more than a sales channel. You're creating a gathering place, and belonging is powerful. People who feel part of something tend to stay longer and spend more. Over time, someone might join your free space first, then buy a small product, then upgrade to a membership, then maybe even invest in coaching. And because they're invested emotionally, they naturally share it with others. That's word of mouth. Still, the most powerful marketing on the planet. Instead of constantly paying for new leads, your members start bringing people in because they genuinely believe in what you're building. That's not something you can easily buy with ads. Here's the important part. This only works if you actually own the platform your community lives on. If your entire community exists inside a Facebook group or a third-party app, you're still building on borrowed land. And we've all seen what happens when algorithms change. Reach drops, visibility shrinks, rules shift overnight. Inside your own hub, you control the environment. You can message your members directly. You can send updates. You control the data. You control the experience. That stability is what allows long-term growth. Now, here's where it gets interesting. A strong hub-based community creates what I call a flywheel. Someone discovers your content. They join your hub. They engage. They build trust. They purchase something. They get results. They tell others. Those people join. And the cycle continues. Even the people who don't buy immediately stay inside your ecosystem. They're not lost. They're warming up. That means instead of converting 2 or 3% once, you're increasing the lifetime value of the entire audience you attract. That's a completely different financial model. Funnels are hunting. You chase, you capture, you eat once. Hubs are farming. You cultivate, you nurture, you harvest consistently. Personally, I'd rather build something that compounds instead of something that constantly resets. And naturally, once people understand this, the next question is, okay, this sounds great, but how do you actually make money with it? Let's break that down. One of the biggest advantages of a hub-based business is that you're not relying on one single income source. You're building multiple revenue streams inside one ecosystem, especially recurring revenue, and that changes everything. Let's start with memberships. A simple monthly or annual subscription is often the foundation of a hub model. You might create a premium members-only area with exclusive content, deeper trainings, group calls, or private discussion space. Let's say you charge $30 per month. If you grow to 200 members, that's $6,000 per month in recurring revenue, not from chasing traffic every day, but from serving a community consistently. That kind of stability is powerful, especially as a beginner. You're no longer hoping every launch works. You're building predictable income. Now, beyond memberships, you can sell digital products directly inside your hub. Courses, templates, ebooks, workshops. The big advantage is that your audience is already inside your ecosystem. You don't have to reintroduce yourself or send them to a completely different platform to buy. They're already there. They already trust you. So when you release a new offer, you can announce it inside the community or send an email through the same system. And they can purchase instantly without jumping through technical hoops. And because everything is connected, you can see the full journey. You might see that someone joined for free, bought a $20 product, later upgraded to a $200 course, and eventually joined your membership. That visibility helps you make smarter decisions and increase lifetime value instead of just chasing one sale at a time. Many hub platforms also let you sell physical products if that fits your niche, but the bigger play for most beginners is digital and recurring. And here's where it gets even more interesting. When everything lives under one roof, turning happy members into affiliates becomes simple. You can give your community members referral links and reward them when they bring in new people. So instead of paying upfront for ads, you're paying commissions only when a sale happens. That means your marketing becomes performance-based. Your best members become advocates. They invite others. Those people join, get value, and some of them start referring too. That's where the flywheel really starts spinning. Another powerful benefit of a hub model is how naturally upsells and cross-sells fit into the experience. If someone buys a course, you can offer a membership upgrade right inside the checkout flow. If someone is already a member, you can offer them advanced workshops or coaching. Because it's one integrated system, it feels seamless instead of pushy. And over time, that increases how long people stay and how much they invest. Instead of buying once and disappearing, they grow with you. That's the difference between transactional income and compounding income. Now let's zoom out for a second. You've probably heard of the concept of 1,000 true fans. The idea is simple. If you have around 1,000 people who genuinely believe in what you're building and consistently support your work, you don't need millions of followers to build a real business. You just need the right people in the right ecosystem. That's exactly what the hub model supports. Instead of chasing cold traffic and vanity metrics, you focus on building depth with your core community. And depth is what creates stability. You don't need everyone. You need your people. And you need a place where they can gather, grow, and invest over time. At this point, you might be thinking, okay, I like this idea, but I'm not technical. How hard is this to actually set up? Here's the good news. It's easier now than it has ever been. There are all-in-one platforms that combine your website, email marketing, course hosting, community features, payments, analytics, and more, all inside one dashboard. You don't need to stitch together 10 tools. You don't need custom coding. If you can drag and drop and fill in text boxes, you can build a hub. The technology has finally caught up to the strategy, and that means beginners can build real digital assets without needing a developer or a giant budget. So where do you actually start? Let me simplify this. If you take nothing else from this video, focus on these 5 moves. First, secure your home base. If you don't have a central website yet, start there. Even a simple site on an all-in-one platform is enough. That becomes your foundation. If you already have a site, think about how to evolve it. Add a blog, add a community area, add product delivery. Start bringing everything under one roof instead of scattering it across tools. Second, choose your platform intentionally. Look for something that lets you use your own domain, integrates your core features, and reuses your tool stack. Don't just look at the monthly price. Compare it to what you're currently paying across multiple tools. Sometimes, one consolidated platform actually costs less than your Frankenstein setup. Third, bring your audience home. If you already have followers on YouTube, Instagram, or an email list, start inviting them into your hub, even if it's just a small free community to begin with. 10 engaged people inside your own ecosystem are more valuable than 1,000 passive followers who barely see your posts. Fourth, deliver consistent value. Your hub is like a garden. If you water it regularly, it grows. So, post helpful content. Start conversations, run small challenges, and build engagement before you push heavy monetization. And fifth, monetize gradually. You don't need to launch a massive membership on day one. Start small. Maybe a mini course, maybe a workshop, maybe a beta membership with early supporters. Because everything is integrated, you can test and adjust without rebuilding your entire system. All in all, funnels had their time, but they were built for a simpler internet. Today's environment rewards ownership, community, and ecosystems. A hub gives you control. Community creates stability. Recurring revenue builds freedom. And instead of chasing endless new leads, you start building something that compounds. That's the shift. Now here's your real next step. If this idea resonates with you, don't just nod and move on. Pick one piece of your current setup and start migrating it toward a hub model this week. Maybe that's launching a simple free community on your own platform. Maybe it's consolidating your tools. Or maybe it's finally building a central website instead of relying on social media alone. Just start. If you're serious about building something you actually own, join my community. That's where we take this from idea to implementation. And if you want to explore the broader hub movement and the infrastructure built around this philosophy, you can check out Mission 1000 in the description as well. If this helped you rethink your strategy, let me know in the comments what part of the hub model stood out most to you. And in the next video, I'm going to show you how you can build passive income if you don't want to show your face, which pairs perfectly with this whole hub strategy. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.